Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. Hope you're having a lovely Saturday. It's been a wonderful Saturday here on Crafters TV. It's been absolutely jam-packed. We're going to close it out in style now, as we do on every Saturday evening, with the Craft House. And this Craft House is going to be all featuring around Sara's signature items. We might have a little look at the sunflowers as well that are on the show too, but lots of brilliant deals for you, predominantly on Sara's signature deals. And the Sara signature collections are so great because they work so well together. And also mostly Christmas as well in the show for you, which is going to be awesome. Right, I'm not here on my own. She is. Are you arranged, Jan?
I was just having a malfunction then. I was like, oh. You know when you're on the camera and you go the wrong way. I was just making it worse.
Oh dear.
I'm good.
Dear.
I'm good. I've got there in the end. Yeah.
How are you? Have you had a good Saturday?
I am good, yes. I'm having a good Saturday. It's actually nice and quiet, isn't it, on a weekend?
It's lovely, isn't it?
There's not as much going on at a weekend. So, yeah, it's been lovely and quiet in the break. I had a bit of a downtime and something to eat, and we're all raring to go again now. We've got it all... we thought we were stuck then. Couldn't get it up and running, could we?
No, but we're here. Don't you worry about that. We moved
the men that can in the gallery.
They did indeed. Lots in the show then, Jan. What can we expect tonight?
Yes, I've got some samples to show you. It's all about the Christmases past and present at the moment. So if you were watching us earlier on in the day, we did a little sneaky peek, a little delve into that in Wake Up Call this morning. But I've just pulled a couple of each samples from the collections. So starting off with that beautiful watercolour Christmas. And this one's just actually been made as a tag, and it's got that little snowman on there that if you were watching earlier, you saw us put that one together with the stamps and die set. And then that beautiful half snowflake is part of the collection as well. And then we've just put like a little acetate overlay over that one. So again, tags rather than cards. And then this one was a really nice example as well. This has been made by Leslie, but she's done the little pop-out box one. And this is a brilliant one to show you all the different characters that come on those stamps there. So let me just move that one out of the way. You can see the little bunnies, you've got the snowman in there, got the deer in the back, got the North Pole sign, and just trim it up. But if you look inside it, it's actually very, very cleverly done. And then it just folds flat again to go in an envelope.
Very clever.
Yeah, it's showcasing a lot of the stamps on that one. So really, really nice. So that's watercolour Christmas. Then we've got that more vintage style with the 'Twas the Night collection, which I must admit, I like both of these. I'd be struggling to, even though they're very different, I'd be struggling to choose between them. But that lovely, more sort of traditional Christmas feel to this with the reds, the golds, the greens. Love that window scene with all the detail going on outside there. So that's just one example. Even all the little berries and everything are available in the collection as embellishments. And then, of course, it wouldn't be Christmas without old St Nick there, would it? He's there with his sack full of presents. We've got wish list at the side there, but again, just matching these up, you know, with things that you may have already got in your stash. I just think really, really nice. Oldie worldy vintage style Christmas with that one. And then more recently this year, Sara's brought out the Frosty and Bright collection, which again, much more of a contemporary feel to that one. Two of my favourite colours in this collection with the pinks and the turquoisey teal colours. But those baubles are all part of the collection. Die cuts there for you to use. Even all the foliage that's made the garland there, all part of that collection just to die cut out for you. And again, using those baubles again there, but with that beautiful frame. I'm going to do a demo with this later on and put some shaker pieces in it actually. When I found this one, I thought, oh, that's similar to the idea that I'd had. But yeah, the frame cuts out the aperture in the centre, and then you can use that to build whatever it is, whether it's a scene in there or, like I say, we've got the shaker pieces in that one. So really, really pretty. I think the Frosty and Bright was an excellent sort of title for it. It really is like that crisp winter's day on that one. So yeah, 3 completely different collections to have a play with today, and really looking forward to it. I've got some demos lined up for you.
There you have it. We've got great deals, which is excellent. Loads of you saying hello. Betsy Thrupp is in Houston, Texas. I so enjoyed being on the craft along earlier. Well, Betsy, it was lovely to have you on. Sam McDonald saying, good evening, Joe and Jan. Jutta is in Germany. Alicia's in Arkansas. We've got Mary Rhino in Maine. Panda Crafts is here. I can see Barbara's in Indiana. Who else is there? Elizabeth in Brooklyn. Miriam in South Carolina. BJ is on the beach in Washington State, and Kirsty D says, good evening from a cloudy Teesside. It is a bit cloudy. It's a bit of a funny day out there. Last night when I left at 8, it was almost dark. Because it had been quite an overcast day.
It's had, yeah, we had a lot of rain at home yesterday, on and off throughout the day, which, to be honest, was quite welcomed after the week we've had.
Apparently it's raining in Manchester.
Complain about it raining ever again.
No, I know. Apparently it's raining in Manchester, but when is it not, Jan? Is the question, really. Cheryl's in Nebraska, where this side of the state will be seeing heat around 110 degrees Fahrenheit today. Great day to stay indoors and watch some crafting. And Aunt Penny says, good afternoon from a very stormy south central Minnesota. I hope we don't lose the feed. I hope you don't as well, but don't worry, you better catch up if you do lose us at any point. Let me take you through this. Now, there are very few of this particular collection remaining. We do have a backup bundle for you when this sells out. Not if, but really when this goes. It is smaller though, so if you want the opportunity to get as many items as possible with a really big saving, £50 or $64 you're getting off of this, it is limited stock. If it is in your basket, I'm already going to urge you to think about checking it out. It's a sensational deal. That platinum price is unbelievable. Let me take you through what you're getting. So you're going to get the laser cut toppers in here. You are also going to receive your snowflakes as well. Now the snowflakes are great because you've got 7 different snowflakes in there. The brilliant thing is they're all different sizes and shapes too, so you can really play around with that. This one here is your Let It Snow. And this one, brilliant, because you've got the die there for the sentiment, but also stamps that go alongside that. You've also got Joyful Wishes, which is this one here. There's a lot of stamps in this particular collection with those beautiful characters there. And that banner is super handy for popping your stamps inside if you wish. We then have these. These are your Magical Christmas with the deer. It's a very friendly fox there, isn't it?
It's very cute.
Very friendly fox. You've got a couple of sentiments in all of these too. This one is your Winter Wonderland with the sleigh and the hedgehog and that cute little snowman in there. Keeping on the snowman theme, you then have the Build a Snowman, which is this one here, stamps and dies. You can put this together and really start to layer and decoupage those elements up. Gives you lots and lots of dimension. But this one's your Statement Snowflake. Really cool that. Cut it as a half, or you can double it up as you can see there. You've then got your quirky Christmas trees and a couple of embossing folder sets. So the elegant borders, and you'll also receive the snowflake edges too. £33 or $42 is an amazing deal on that particular collection. I would urge you to go and hit the shop the show button as well over on the website crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au, because there are a lot of deals across a lot of different collections for you, and we'll try and get to as many of them as we can. Ray saying howdy y'all from Tennessee. Howdy Ray. Michelle is saying hi in New Jersey as well. Diane is in Canada. She's sat in the shade. Good shout. Kathy saying hi from London. Laura is in Arkansas. For Holidays is saying hi from Florida. And Kimberly is in North Carolina as well. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend as we are here at Crafters TV. Right then, Jen. Who's Jen?
Who's who?
Who's Jen?
Jen.
Who on earth is Jen? Jan. Right, Jan. That's supposed to be kick things off.
Right, so I thought we'd have a look at these little slimline embossing folders because I think these are really clever. Just to, add a little bit of detail to your design. So we're going to use this lovely snowflake border one here. And these are 6 inches along by 1.5 inches. So they're great for making panels on your card. So what I'm going to do is just take this one, and I've taken a little bit of cardstock, just cut to size to pop in here, and literally emboss this one through, and then we're going to add a little bit of ink to it just to bring out the detail on the embossing. But yeah, you can see how that's really sort of going to lend itself to being a panel, whether it be vertical. We're actually going to use them horizontal and on the card there. So yeah, with a clear embossing folder as such, we're just going to use the two with an embossing folder, we're going to use the 2 clear plates. I got my clear in the wrong place then. Just to pop that through, and then I'm going to take some ink just to ink over it and actually bring out some of that embossed detail. So on here, we can just see, it's done a lovely job of embossing that. If I just tilt that down, you can just see there that lovely snowflake design. But we can actually bring that up a little bit by adding a bit of ink, and it will just sort of highlight where that embossing is. So I've just got my Oasis water reactive ink here, and I'm literally just going to bring it over the top, and you can just see how that lovely embossed detail starts to emerge from the cardstock. So keeping the same sort of tone on tone colour. You could do this with any of your inks, but I just thought keeping it tone on tone, it's nice, it's just giving it that little bit of depth and just literally going over the top of where the embossed features are. So again, that's all I want to do to it. I'm not going to put too much on there, and you can just see how that's actually brought out now, that embossed detail, that little bit more there. Okay,
beautiful.
Just pop a little bit in there. That's it. So what we're going to do then, I've popped a card blank together and I've used a little bit of acetate on this one so that we can see that lovely, those lovely borders. So I've got an ordinary card blank, which I think is a 5 3/4, yeah, 5 3/4 square. And then I've put like a piece of acetate, just folded it over the top there. And I've got sort of like a loose leaf, so we've almost got like 2 fronts to the card. So again, little bit of paper. Now this is from the newer collection. This is from the Frosty and Bright collection, but they mix and match beautifully. So if you do have them both, they play nicely together.
They do actually, don't they, thinking about it?
Yeah, and if you haven't got them, then you know, you can either make your backgrounds or you can use papers from collections that you've already got. So we're going to put this on the back layer, and then we're going to work with the borders on the front here, like so. So I'm just going to stick that piece of paper on that background layer using my tape pen there, just to pop that one down, just to give a little bit of detail behind the focal image there. So that one's going to go, and it was just a scrap, it doesn't go all the way to the top and bottom, but I'm not too worried about that because obviously the borders are going to cover the top and bottom area. Okay, and then just whoops, crease that one back down again on the acetate. So we've got that in the background, and then I actually popped a couple of these through my emboss, and I've put some tape on the back ready, so you can see pretty much the same as what we've got going on there. But I'm just going to use the tool and I'm going to pop them either way, so one of the designs facing up and one facing down on the piece that's got the acetate on that, which is why I've used my red line tape there. So again, just to take off the liner from the tape, and then I'm going to put the design sort of facing up from the bottom. So again, I'm just going to open this up so that I can see where she says, see where the edge of the acetate is. I think if I work on there, I'll be able to see better, and you guys can see that a wee bit better, can't you? So I'm just going to line that. I've made this the same width as the card, so I'm just going to line it up, and if there's any overlapping, we can just snip it off when we've finished. So that's the first one, and then the second one we're going to bring up to that top edge and have the design facing inwards on that one.
Cheryl saying, I received my sunflower collection this week, so I'll be going to watch the craft along after this programme. Oh, you're in for a treat.
By all means,
brilliant craft along, wasn't it?
So this one is going to go facing the other way, and I'm going to bring this one up level with the top. So we've almost got like a border top and bottom now. And then if there is any, I don't think there's a lot hanging over the edge. There's a little bit on there, so we'll just trim that piece off the edge. I think I've got it quite lined up at that edge, but it will work. And I think that top one I've got in a better position. Okay, so we've now got those 2 pieces. So we've got that one opening onto the patterned one. And then I've also used this in conjunction with those beautiful snowflakes. These are absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so you've got 2 sides worth of dies in here, all different styles, because we always say, you know, each snowflake is different. And you've got lots of different combinations. This one in particular, even though it's a snowflake, makes a beautiful flower as well. Layer a couple of these up with a bead in the centre, makes a lovely flower. So what I've done, I've just taken some scraps of card, and some of it's mirror card out of the scrap box. So we've got that beautiful one at the top there, done in the turquoise mirror card. And then I've also done, I think this one's on the other side, the little one. You can just see there that little tiny one. I've done one in silver miricard and a couple in white there. And I've just added some sort of beads to the centre of them just to finish them off. And then this one I've done in the silver. And again, as I say, it is really, really pretty. It is intended to be a snowflake. But as I say, a couple of those layered together with the bead in the centre, they make lovely little flowers. So I've picked silver for that one. And then this one is, oh, it was on the other side. That one. There we go. All right, so just chosen one or two. I haven't done all of them. I've just picked out one or two of them. And what we're going to do is actually make a sort of a cascade of snowflakes. And then I'm going to bring in that lovely topper set as well, and we're going to use one of those for the greetings. Now, I did pinch a little bit. I'm a bit obsessed with this ribbon that's in the other collection, and I was just wondering whether to pop that. Can't make my mind up. If I pop it on there, I'm going to have trouble disguising it behind. Can't make my mind up now whether I want that.
Really loves this ribbon. Really
I do love it very much, and I was going to pop it across like that just to add a bit more sparkle, but I can't make my mind up now whether it needs it or not. I think as soon as I've cut it, I'm going to stick it on anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of the thin red line tape. And I'm just going to run that right across the edge of those panels that we've just stuck down and pop the ribbon across, and I'm going to trim it level. Normally I would wrap it around the back of the card, but because it's acetate, I think I'm just going to trim it level with the edge of the cardstock. Now I have seen a trick done where you can actually, I'm not going to try it on air, not for a second, but I have seen a trick done where you can use a naked flame to actually just seal the edge of the ribbon so it doesn't fray.
What could go wrong, Jan?
What could go wrong? I'm not even going to go there, Joe, honestly.
Someone must have a lighter we can use.
There's no sprinklers up here. So what I'm going to do is just stretch that across, partly on the card, partly on the acetate like that, and it'll stay there. And then I'm going to do the same. It's absolute. Again, I've pinched it from that new collection. This is actually from the Frosty and Bright collection. I'm going to have to order some more of the ribbon because it's almost like iridescent. It's beautiful. It really is.
Lovely.
It's very translucent, but it just changes colour depending which way you look at it. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, it's appeared on a lot of the projects today.
Yeah, it's available on the show actually, that ribbon. All the elements from the Frosty and Bright are available individually, so the ribbon also available on its own.
So I'm just going to chop that off level, as I say, with the edge of the card. So if I was sending this out, I probably would have a go at sealing the
Apparently, there's
edges.
nail polish, like clear nail polish or nail varnish on the end of ribbon stops it fraying, I believe, as well.
That's a good idea. You used to do that. Now, you wouldn't know this, Joe, but we used to do that on our tights to stop the ladders from...
Oh, I do know.
Do you?
I know all too well.
Have you tried that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I also remember you doing that to stop the ladders sort of going all the way up your tights.
I'm an absolute expert in hosiery, I love you know.
So, first of all, we need to choose a nice little sentiment to go in there as well. So you've got 2 sheets. I don't think I've actually used any of these in the past. There are 2 sheets of these. You can get them out of the packet. They're resisting. Don't use me, don't use me. So let's just have a little look at these. They're gorgeous, they really are. And they're actually on little foam pads. So if you take them apart very carefully, you've actually got a second version underneath as well. So you could actually use them and make twice as many. So what I want is something that's going to match. I like the Have a Magical Christmas. That one works well, doesn't it? Baby It's Cold, that's a bit blue. And that one would work as well. Do you fancy a snowman or shall we have the deer, Joe?
Let's have a deer. We had a snowman earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, we did do the snowman. So I'm going to take the one off here. But can you see what I mean about the one underneath? Is actually, it's not got the greeting on there, but you could still use it. So I'm just going to use that top section. And it's got a little sticky bud on the back there, but obviously I've just pulled it off there. So I'm going to pop a little bit of wet glue on the back of it as well. In fact, she says, I don't know what I've done with my foam pad, so I was going to put another foam pad on, but we'll work with that one. So this is actually going to go down here. And then we're going to go with sort of this cascade of snowflakes that come down to meet the...
Apparently it's something called fray check, works very well on ribbon ends, and once it's dry you don't see it, says Anne in Connecticut.
Right, so I think on the back of these we should be okay with a little bit of the wet glue. Now again, some people say when you're working with acetate you can see the glue behind. You can, and that's something that you either like or you don't like. And if you don't like it, you can always cut your snowflakes again and stick them behind the acetate to marry them up with the ones on the front, so that you're getting decoration on both sides, and it sort of disguises the fact that there is glue behind some of the elements. So yeah, whichever way you want to go with that, there's always a way round something. So like this one, that little tiny dot of glue will dry clear, but you will be able to see it through the acetate when it's dry. So I'm just going to pop those on and leave those to dry. Oops. And then again, I've just cut some of the little ones. So we're going to just pop these, as I say, just a complete cascade of snowflakes. Matches the borders there, which are also the snowflakes. And I just thought it was a nice way to incorporate those little greetings as well. I'm going to have one there. And then I've got a little silver one again. So just a mixture of colours that tone in with the collection. And then bring that one down on there. So again, we've got that sort of twofold. If we stand the card up, it's got its original card base. But then you've just got that little bit of interest where that front panel is loose. So you've got that extra detail on there as well.
Really gorgeous. What a really lovely way of using that. I guess that would that work with not with an acetate panel? It wouldn't work. It wouldn't support itself. But I guess with acetate over or behind the acetate, it would work, wouldn't it? Did I say acetate and acetate? But I'm talking about vellum as what I meant.
You could tell with the look of confusion
I
on
could.
my face.
I think I got acetate and vellum confused.
I'm like, what's he on about?
But using vellum with it, I thought.
You could put vellum as
well,
the
I guess
panel.
you put that behind the acetate, wouldn't you?
You could actually use vellum in the middle just to bridge the gap, yeah, and that would give you that translucence effect. So very, very different to the see-through element of the vellum's nice if you've got a really busy, loud paper and you want to tone it down, because you can still see the design, but the acetate, that translucency of the acetate just tones the colours down a little bit. So yeah, it would work with vellum as well, Joe. It would look very nice. Or any of the printed acetates if you've got some of those in your stash.
Maybe you went for that new acetate that we did, that really heavy duty one.
Oh gosh, yes.
That was lovely. It sold out extremely quickly, that did. Let me take you back through what you're getting. You're going to get the die-cut toppers that you've just seen Jan using in there. The snowflakes you've also seen Jan use. You'll also get the Let It Snow. So a nice big sentiment die-cut, and also the stamps that go with it. You've got Joyful Wishes, which are these creatures here. They're all very cute, these creatures, but in a very much a winter theme. You've got Magical Christmas, Winter Wonderland. You will also get your Build a Snowman, which is this one here, those stamps and dies. Love that big statement snowflake that you've got there. It really is cool. Then you've also got the quirky Christmas trees and your 2 sets of embossing folders. So you've got the elegant borders, and you will also receive these ones here, which are your snowflake edges. A brilliant deal for you. £50 or $64 is what you're saving. The other thing though is, it is limited stock, this deal. And it's going very quickly. Less than 20 of these to go around. So if you want to get your hands on them, please be quick. If it's in your basket, do check it out. I will be honest with you, there is a backup bundle, but it's smaller than this one. So if you want to get the most amount for your money, then definitely grab it quickly. $26.40 or $33.60 for platinum members. Claudia says, expert in hosiery, the mind boggles. If only you knew. Flora says, wow, what a beautiful card. Stamp in hand says, what beautiful card. Mary Pat says, lovely. Mary Rhino loved it as well, as did Rachel and Aunt Penny. And Cleo says, Jan, that card is just beautiful and simple, but so elegant. I couldn't agree more, it really is. Let me talk you through this, your Weekend Super Saver. 60% of the Weekend Super Saver has gone. It is very, very busy on this. Easy to see why. It's a fantastic tote bag that we've got for you. You're going to love it. If you don't own it, I'd love to know actually who of you in the comments owns this and how much stuff and what you're using yours for. They are a bit of a TARDIS, these. I mean, you can get absolutely loads of stuff in them. I love that they collapse flat as well for you, so that's how it's going to come packaged. You open it up and just pop it out, which is brilliant. You could also have it as a one-sided, just bear with me here whilst I have a moment. You could also have it as a one, if you only wanted to use half, you could actually collapse the back and have that against your work surface if you wanted to. Nothing to stop you doing that because you can pop them up independently. So there's always that option for you. Two nice big pockets on the inside of here. Going to be perfect for storing things like your Gemini Junior plates and any of your larger items within there. You can actually partition that pocket off as well. So you've actually got a little wall in there which you can either have up or down. Nice big deep gusseted pockets in the front of there. And what I love about these pockets is they're big enough that, let me show you with a pen actually exactly what I mean. Because they're not pockets that are really open, when you put things like pens in there, they don't fall out, which is brilliant. They've been designed in a way that they'll keep things in, but they've still got plenty of room in there for you, which I love. Nice big clear pockets as well on the inside of there, so you can see what you're looking for. Nothing worse than having a pocket like a slip pocket you can't see from. You're scrambling around, digging around, trying to remember what's in there. No clue. And then some nice pen storage on here for you too, so you're going to be able to store all of your alcohol markers, your aqua markers, your sparkle pens. They will all store in there for you. The caddy on their own, they're brilliant value. I don't know why it's less in the US. I'm gonna level with you. I'm gonna question Lily about it tomorrow, but I'm not quite sure why. But just take advantage of it, because also because of the shipping rules, it costs us more money to send adhesives to the US. That's why the adhesive price sometimes a little bit higher. But we're giving you a lower price on the tote, and we're including adhesives as well. So you've actually got $45 worth of adhesive included in here. That's the all-purpose you're going to receive. You're going to get 3 packs of the foam pads. You've got 3 different sizes. They're going to come included for you. You have got your 3 differing thicknesses of your red line tape. That's going to be in there. And you'll get the foam and a roll in there as well. So it's all of that coming in there. You're going to get $45 worth of adhesives for free when you buy the $19 bag.
Crazy,
it doesn't make sense.
I can understand why that's selling so well, and people are buying multiples of it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
$15.96 if you're a platinum member. I mean, essentially, it's a couple of red liner tapes, and the all-purpose. If you were going to buy those this weekend, get it all, because all of it's going to come to the same kind of price. It really is amazing value. Really, really is. Don't miss out on that. 60% of the stock here has gone. MIDI next. Let's bring this to you. I was using this earlier today. I blooming love a MIDI. I do. I think they are absolutely awesome. You're going to get 50 bonus points on this and a 10% discount. $62.99 or $80.95 is your price. It's an A5. This one's obviously, you'll get a new one, don't worry. You won't get the one that I've been using. This is an A5 platform. The thing I love about it, Jan, is you just can't get it wrong. Because you open it up, card and die in, close it up. I'll give you a live demonstration. There you go.
Pop it through. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah, and I like, if you're only using small dies and stuff, just to be sure, I always wind it through once I'm over the die, and then just wind it straight back out again.
Perfect demonstration.
Absolutely brilliant.
And keep folding the folder. You can use all the different sides of the folder, so fold it back the other way next time. Do that housekeeping. Keep that folder going, and yeah, it can go back through again. I mean, I always pop the hinge side through first.
Always the hinge sides through first, yeah.
But yeah, it makes it so you've not got to remember which plate for which. No. And if you're going to do the embossing, it embosses as well.
It does. You do get that purple shim included, don't you?
Normal folder just goes through like that one does. So an ordinary 2D folder just goes straight through the Mini on its own. Sorry, 3D folder, straight through the Mini on its own. The 2D folder works with the little purple shim just to make up the right depth.
Yeah, really cool. It is a brilliant machine with a platinum discount, 50.39 or 64.76 with 50 bonus points as well. They're super powerful as well. I mean, it's going to give you the same kind of performance of a larger electric machine. So definitely think about going for that. Loads and loads of power in there. A lot of people maybe that have had the Mini will know how great that our manual machines are. Be upgrading. If you've been waiting for a good deal, that is definitely an excellent deal for you. We've got some pictures coming. Would you like to see them, Jan?
People have been. These. I love seeing what people have been doing. Look,
people have been crafting
Here comes
along.
a little basket. I love the trim on that one. They look like butterflies across the handle.
Yeah, Angela sent that one in for us.
Beautiful.
Absolutely love it.
Well
Becky has also sent this one in.
Yep, had to go with the tissue paper in there. Absolutely gorgeous. That almost looks as if there's some. Might be. I thought there was some heat embossing on there, but it might just be where it's catching the light. Yeah, beautiful.
Really, really cool. Juta has sent this one in to us as well.
Again, playing with those little flowers, and I like how people have found the trim to go on the handle as well. They're looking great, aren't they? Well done, guys. I didn't realise there were so many of you crafting along.
Yeah, really
Fantastic.
cool. Kirsty sent that one in. I love that one.
I like it with the rectangular sentiment on there as well. Just a different look on it with the foliage on the flowers. Really, really nice.
Diane's got a great result. I love how Diane's put the flowers on the handle as well. Making the handle a little bit longer actually changes the overall look and shape of the basket completely, doesn't it?
Depending on what you want to put inside, if you need a little bit more inside, just extend that piece for the handle. Yeah, well done, Diane. They look fab. And thank you for sharing with us, guys. I love to see it when people have been, especially when they're done in slightly different colourways to what I've used here. Makes them look so different.
Yeah, it really does. It's a really brilliant collection. Right, we're going to move on and we're going to look at something very special. Very, very special. So let me share this with you. Let's have a little look at what we've got here. So Frosty and Bright, we're looking. I don't know where to start. I really don't.
It's massive, this one, isn't it?
It is, and there's so many cool
with
bits.
The paper. It's got to be the paper.
I'm just looking at it and not showing it to you now is what's happening, but I absolutely love it. Let's start with the 12 by 12 paper. This is a great place to start, isn't it? The brilliant thing about this paper is that it's got a really lovely style to it. It is along the same vein, I think, as Watercolour Christmas. That was a good shout earlier, Jan. I think this one may be a little bit more stylised than that. A bit more Scandi. I think the artwork's quite intricate, isn't it? There's also so many layers to the artwork as well, which is the thing that always surprises me. There's so much going on in each and every one of those sheets that you've got in there. That is stunning. You're going to get 36 sheets of that in the 12 by 12, and then you get it resized into the 6 by 6. So you don't just get like a quarter of a page, you get the full image resized in there, which is excellent. So you've got that one included too. Let's move into this. Let me show you some of the other bits and bobs you're getting. You're going to get these gorgeous sequins included. They are stunning. I can see Jan's got hers at the ready. You get loads in there.
Yeah.
There's a really big bag of those, 50 grams. You're also going to get the gilding flakes, which are colour matched to the collection. So you've got gilding flakes, the adhesive, you need to go with those, and also the sponge. You will get this as well, Jan's favourite ribbon.
Yeah.
It's coming included. You're going to get the faux snow. Faux snow? No. 50 grams of this. I'll just show you. Don't try going through an airport with this in your hand luggage, is what we say. A massive bag of faux snow. That's honestly, you will get a very thorough examination if you got that in your hand luggage, let me assure you. I don't know, maybe you're into that. Oh, I need to calm down. I'll get myself in trouble tonight. So you've got 50 grams of that. I know what the street value is. And then you've also we've done 3 limited edition ink pads, which are perfectly colour matched to the collection. We don't have these colours in our collection already. So this is your lavender ice, your polar blue, and your frosted sea glass in there as well. These are available on their own individually, the ink pads, and they've been very busy. Now, a lot of you, I think, have been going for these as extras. So a lot of people are getting the big collection, an extra 12 by 12, some of the faux snow and the ink pads, because once they're gone, they're gone. I know we've done previous Christmas launches, and these become a bit legendary because they are such a limited edition.
They're almost like collector's items,
yeah,
aren't they? Yeah,
exactly.
They're not in your everyday collection.
Yeah. So I definitely get your hands on a cut. In fact, you know, even if you're not going for the main collection, would definitely be getting yourself a set of the ink pads included. I absolutely love this luxury cardstock. I think the colourway, it's what you've got in here is a mixture of a glitter, of course, and a pearlescent. But I think the great thing is it's just the colour. It's so glam, and it's quite nice because it's quite a kind of pastel-y tones in the 12 by 12, but this is bringing the glitz and glam in the luxury cardstock. If you want to get the ink pads on their own, you can get the 12 ink pads, bottom of your screen there, 12.72, 17.72, 15% saving on them, and they are very busy this evening. Let's move into then your hardware, as I like to call it, which is of course your, your stamps, your dies, all the glorious stuff that you expect from these collections. There's a lot of laughing going on in the comments. I have no idea why. Let's look in at these, and let's forget about the comments I made about the faux snow. So these are Edgeables. I haven't seen Edgeables. This is sort of a new format for an Edgeable.
They're brilliant,
almost.
aren't they? I love the two different fonts for starters.
Yeah, two different fonts, really lovely.
And then the script font, but cutting into that lower part of the card, really, really fun.
Really cool. And what I love about this is you've kind of got a mini Edgeable collection within a larger
collection, and that in itself, you've got a card there in its own right.
Yeah.
If you're batch making cards, they would make super ones. Don't need to do much else on them.
Well, do you know what, Jan? Imagine leaving the back of your card higher, as has been done here, with a little strip of pattern paper, or one of the 6x6 pads used in the back of there. That's a card done.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, really simple.
Let that
Maybe
be the focal
a little
point.
matte layer with some of that luxury glitter in the back. Done. So if you're batch making, these are going to be a joy. But I love that you've got the different sentiments in them as well. So
and
you
I
can
like
actually.
This one as well. I like the Happy Holidays.
It's really cool because actually you're able to create a suite of cards then from the one collection with the different sentiments.
Everybody celebrates Christmas, do they? So we do a lot of Christmas stuff here because obviously in the UK it's quite a big thing. We
have Hanukkah around that time, Diwali also around that time.
Everybody does. So I think the Happy Holidays just touches on something that fits that
lots of different things. Yeah, I agree. I really do. Then we've got here as well, this is your sparkling snowflakes, aren't they? Brilliant. I love that big statement snowflake. Absolutely gorgeous. You will also get as well your luxury foiled card pad included too. This comes actually in a pad of which you get 12 sheets in this collection.
And that will take the inks. It's all white when it comes so that's
which I think is brilliant because we could give you a coloured pad with foiling on, but then you're sort of, if there's a colour you like using, you're stuck to that. Actually, use your ink pads, the ones you've got, or use the limited edition ones included, and you can create something beautiful.
Was it the polar blue, the blue one? I've got them over here.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's what was on that one then. Yeah, really nice, vivid.
So go for that. I think they're really genius, those. And then that, I mean, I love this. It's going to work so well in this collection. But actually, I could see you using that with something like a peacock collection, excuse me, maybe a chinoiserie collection.
Just looking at that there as it's been cut there. If you just turn that up the other way, Joe. Other way. There. Envelope. You could make that the back of the envelope, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Stunning.
Oh, that'd be a great, envelope. Yeah, that would work really well.
Invite something like that. Who would have known it's come from a Christmas collection?
No, absolutely not. Lots of great stamp sentiments in here, which you can create yourself. We're getting very good, I think, at doing these ones where you put them together as you wish. Then this really lovely Christmas tree. One of my favourite elements of the collection, it almost looks like a sort of shooting star that's done a whooshy whooshy woo and has turned into a Christmas and has left. Like you'd see fairy dust floating up, and then it'd round, and then it leaves a trail, let's say, and that trail is your Christmas tree. I don't know. I'm feeling very silly tonight. This one here is your Christmas tree frame that you've got. Then we move into this one, your Christmas tree Edgeable. This one is really cool.
Gorgeous, yeah. We're hopefully going to fit a demo in with that one later.
Then we've got your Christmas tree foliage there, and also your beautiful bauble. Not any old baubles. Oh no, beautiful baubles. It's what we're looking at.
2 layers to them, yeah.
$124.99 or $162.95. And that represents a £53 or $69 saving, which is excellent. Under £100, $130.36 for platinum members. You'll get free postage and packaging in the UK on this. You'll also get free shipping and handling if you are in the US. So definitely think about grabbing this. I'm pretty sure that's a full launch offer, is it, Johnny? I don't think anything's sold out yet, so you've still got your opportunity to get your hands on every single element of the collection, which you won't for very long, because I'm going to put my neck on the line and say probably the 12x12s and the ink pads will be the first to go, and that will happen pretty soon, and then the collection will start to get progressively smaller. So if you want all of it, now's your opportunity. Absolutely it is. Lots of laughing faces from Barbara and Linda. It says Naughty Joe and Sylvia.
When it gets to this time of night, it's like the witching hour.
Sorry?
So it's when it gets to this
getting to that point, isn't it?
It's like the witching hour.
Especially at the Saturday or a Sunday as well, it seems to get worse. Diane says, I'd like to see how to use that snow. Maybe you will. Mo number 2 says, we must have 2 Mo's, because her username is Mo. #2. I love that luxury card pack. Cheryl says the paper and the inks are beautiful in person. The colours in the papers are so gorgeous, and the luxury cardstock is stunning. Panda Crafts is loving the Edgeables, and Elizabeth says, yes, wouldn't that be ideal for an envelope? It would indeed. If you've got this and you've received it already and you've started playing around with it, I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. But I believe this is where we're going for a demo next, is it, Jan?
We are, yeah, and I've just picked some elements out of the collection. The beauty of having these is that you know that everything is going to mix and match. It's all been designed to work together, so you've not got that rummaging through your craft stash looking for certain bits to add to it. It's all there. So I've actually chosen the Christmas tree frame. We're going to do this one first and add some ink to that one. We're going to use the beautiful baubles to decorate, and then we're going to put some of these beautiful iridescent sequins in it to make a shaker design on this one. So first of all, I do apologise. This cough I've had forever and a day, and it just cannot get rid of it. It just keeps creeping up on me. So you can see here we've got that cut and emboss folder again. We've got the detail around the edge for, if I put the card in there, you'll be able to see that design a little bit better. Detail around the edge with all the embossing. And then there's actually a rectangular die set into here that's going to cut out that aperture in the centre there. So you're going to get the frame as such. So again, I've just taken some smooth all-purpose card, cut it down to size. This is a 5x7 folder. So I usually cut my card just a fraction smaller so that it fits within the parameters of the embossing folder. And again, any cut and emboss folder behaves like a 2D folder. So we just need our 2 clear cutting plates there to pop this through the machine. It would fit through your MIDI. It's the same size plates there on the MIDI as what I've got here. I've got the junior plates with the large Gemini. Those of you that have watched me for a while know that that's one of my favourite combinations. I usually have the big Gemini out in my craft room, but wherever I can use the smaller plates, then obviously it's a wee bit quicker when we're waiting for things to happen. But you can see there how it's taken that centre out with the die, and then you've got a beautifully embossed frame. Again, if we just have a little look, you can just tilt that so you can see that, but I'm going to ink it again so that you can see even more so. But you've got lots of foliage, you've got baubles as if it's hung on the tree, the stars in there. Really, really pretty. And again, I'm just going to use that ink that I had out last time and just pop this. I want to actually colour it now. Now, you could do this on a turquoise coloured card to start with if you wish, or any colour that you're going to do. But I just think the ink over the embossing makes such a difference because it's got different levels of sort of depth of ink, for want of a better way of putting it. So again, I've just got that applicator flat over the top of the embossing, and it's picking up the higher elements that have been embossed are getting a little bit more ink than what's going into the background. So you're getting that sort of pale turquoise in the background, but you can see those items coming to life now as we get that ink over the top there. So again, it's just keeping it flat over the top, and I wanted that sort of turquoisey colour to go with the theme. The one, I am going to use the new colours later on for a demo later, and it's a wee bit more, if you look at this, this is sort of in between. We've got a little bit more blue here into the green, and then you've got the turquoise in between it, so you've sort of got like a natural progression. The third one in that collection is a lilac one, and as I say, I'm going to use these later so that you can see what those look like for real if you've not had the colours yet. So again, just make sure that that's all coloured in, and then I'm just going to clean that excess ink off here so that it doesn't transfer onto everything else, and then we're going to have a go at popping this into a shaker element. So I'm going to put a little bit of acetate behind here. I've got a piece of acetate at the ready, and then the one, this is the one, it's a little tiny bit lighter, the one that I did at home, maybe being a bit more heavy-handed here, and I'm just going to flick to that one just because I've put some tape on the back ready. It's exactly the same design as what we did there. All right, and I've just got this bit's actually going to be come into use when we get it sorted. So again, on the back of that, I'm just going to stick that piece of acetate behind here at the ready, and then we're going to put some shaker foam behind it, and then I've just used some of those papers and the cardstock to do a little bit of matte layering on the background card. So again, that one's going to go on the back. Ooh, It's going there now. It decided that's exactly where it wanted to sit. As long as it covers the aperture, I'm not too fussed whereabouts it goes. So we've literally got that in the middle now just to stop all those pieces falling out. And then I've done a little bit of matting and layering. So I've got a bit of an oversized card. And I pulled out some silver. I wanted
love
some
that
silver glitter card. But the paper is beautiful, isn't it? If you just, like you said, Joe, there's so many different layers of it. You know, you've got the background layer with the silhouette designs. Then you've got all this patterned layer going on. And then you've got the splatters as if you've splattered it with a white ink on top of it. Really, really pretty. So that's going to be my background. And then we're going to layer this over the top so we can still see that paper through the aperture there. So I'm going to just pop that one down with my tape runner. And then we'll build up that little wall with the foam tape and get some of those pieces inside there. So that one's going to go like so. And then I've got my foam on a roll at the ready. So we're just going to pop round the outside of here. And because I don't want all the sequins to disappear behind the frame, I'm actually going to bring the foam quite close to the window on the aperture, and then that will contain all those sequins in the area where you actually want to see them instead of them falling behind the frame. So again, just keeping that near the edge, making sure that it's all sealed well so that they're not escaping. And then I'm going to put a second layer just to balance it around the outside there so that we've not got that when you put it down, if you don't level up the tape, you've got these bits are a little bit soft. Right. So I'm just going to bring this round again. You don't even have to take the backing off this outside layer. It's basically just bringing it up to the same height. So I'm just going to pop a little bit along the long sides. It probably doesn't need it on the short side. We're not going to have that same dip in that short side. But yeah, I'm probably not even going to take the backing off there. It is basically just to stabilise it. So we've got those at the ready. We've got our pieces at the ready. And then I just want to do a little tiny bit of embellishing with the baubles. So again, I've just used one of them and I picked the one in the middle there. And I've actually cut out the back piece in the silver. So you can see there how I've got that back piece at the ready. And again, you know, if you wanted solid baubles, you can just use these as they are. But I'm going to cut the main piece out of some turquoise there. So I just want to run that quickly through the Gemini. And then we're going to layer those one on top of the other just to create that lovely bauble effect. So again, just really quickly, I've not got my mini handy at the minute. That would have been ideal just to pop that little one through, but we'll go with what we've got. And again, pop that through there. I've got one already done, but I wanted a second one. This is what we're aiming for with the blue over the top of the silver background. So again, just to take...
Sorry, Creative Touches asked if you can emboss with cutting dies using the MIDI. As in the same way we do with the embossing mat in the Gemini and the regular machine?
No, because we don't have an embossing mat that fits in the MIDI. I wouldn't recommend putting your rubber mat in there.
Didn't realise I was in the box there, Jan. I look very vacant and then I just grab my coffee.
No, I wouldn't recommend putting the embossing mat into the MIDI. I think you will probably end up in all sorts of trouble. It wasn't designed for that type of embossing. Obviously, we can emboss folders of any shape and size that fit in the size of the mouth, but I wouldn't put the embossing mat, which is what you need to emboss the metal dies. Definitely no on that one.
There you are.
So again, I'm just going to use some of my wet glue on the back of here to stick this onto the silver one. So I'm just going to put little dabs of it here and there on the back of this one. And then I'm going to tap off a lot of the excess glue because I don't want it to squeeze out onto that lovely mirror card. So again, I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take my cloth, which comes in handy for all sorts, and actually as if I'm getting rid of most of the glue. And then we're not going to get that sort of squidging effect when we pop it onto here, but they fit perfectly over that background layer. and you've got a really pretty design. All right, so just leave that one to dry a second while we do the shaker pieces now. Okay, so this is the one that I was actually going to stamp on the acetate. I've just remembered. I did say earlier that I was going to stamp on acetate. Now then, where's my... Just bear with me, I'm just going to have a nosy for my
You have a little nosy.
Stamp set that I need, Joe.
Mary Rhino says, oh, that paper is so beautiful. It really is gorgeous, isn't it? I remember what's happening tomorrow here on Crafters TV as well. We've got a really lovely fun day. Got a Kind Me Happy, but with a launch tomorrow with myself and Lily will be here with you all day. So Kind Me Happy, 11 AM in the UK, 6 AM if you are over on the... East Coast. And then we've got a masterclass in kinetic projects. I know, that sounds really interesting. Can't wait to see what Lily's got in store for that. I know, that'll be 2 PM in the UK, 9 AM on the East Coast, and then we'll have Second Chance Sunday. Second chance. And that'll be fun. So that'll be at 6 PM / 1 PM / 10 AM. So I hope you can join me for a fun day tomorrow here on Crafters TV. It's going to be another action-packed one, I think, Jan.
Right, I'm going to try this. I should have done this before I stuck it together because I've now got the foam tape, but I think the acetate will lay flat enough to do what I wanted to do. So this is absolutely, I love this. This is actually, the metal die gives you the word Christmas, which I've already cut out of that blue. But you've got a stamp set in here that gives you so many options on what you want to say. So it could just simply be wishing you a Merry Christmas with the die, wishing you a joyous Christmas and a Happy New Year. So you can mix and match these. All right, so a Christmas filled with warmth of family, friends and fun. The magic of Christmas never ends. There's lots of different ways of putting this together. A really, really nice idea. Now I just wanted to take that Merry on its own, and I was going to pop, this is going to go at the bottom of the card like this, and I was going to stamp the Merry straight onto the acetate. So we'll have a go. I don't know how successful I will be because I've built up the backing, but we'll give it a go and see how it comes out. I think we should be able to get enough pressure with this one to push the acetate flat. So again, I'm just going to pop it in there to keep it straight. Now this is where we were talking earlier about the stays on ink, and this is still my preference for stamping onto the acetate, which I've got here. Now if I pop that underneath here, you'll be able to see what I'm doing a wee bit better. That was the piece that came out of the middle anyway. So if you pop that underneath, even though this is actually acetate that I've got on the top, you'll be able to see a bit better what I'm doing there. So yeah, this would definitely be better done before you put the foam tape on, Jan, but we'll give it a go. So this one's going to go across the bottom of the frame like so. And then I wanted the Merry sort of in there, just to one side. So once we've got that in place, we can lift that one off there. And then the Stays On ink is a solvent ink, but it is designed specifically to go on to shiny surfaces. So things like acetate, I use it if I'm stamping on vellum, if I'm going to stamp on miricard or anything like that, I still tend to go back to this one. So again, and it smells absolutely gorgeous. If you like marzipan, it smells of marzipan, this one. I don't know why. Yep. So again, I'm going to press really hard on this one. And the idea with stamping on an acetate, this makes it so easy, because in the past there was a tendency to slip with it being a shiny surface, but having the stamping platform now means that you are pressing straight down onto that acetate, so it makes it much easier to do this. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got our stamp in there. You can see how it's just transferred. Now it does take a second or two to dry, and it is a permanent ink, so I'm just going to take this. It sometimes stains the back of your stamps, but it doesn't stop them working. It's not going to do any damage to it. So
Susan and Lynn, both late, Jan. I'd like to know if they've been somewhere together, because Susan says, hi, Joe and Jan from hot and sunny South East UK. Sorry, I'm late. But then Lynn says in the next comment, sorry, I'm so late. As well. So have you two been off bunking off together? That's what I want to know. Where you been? Susan says she's been doing chores, but no such excuses given by the lovely Lynn.
Oh,
and Adriana, really loving the font of that stamp. I have to agree, Adriana. I think it's gorgeous.
Really
that
pretty,
font.
isn't it? So again, when we got these together now, if I bring this back underneath so that you can see, we've got that lovely Merry Christmas together now, just with a mixture of stamping and die cuts, which is really nice. Again, it just brings a different sort of look. Now, the trick now is not to smudge what's on there, because as I say, it just takes a few minutes to dry. So we've got all our components at the ready. I'm going to use that bit to hang the baubles with in a second. So what we want to do now then is carefully, we're testing it here, I want to take the foam and I'm just going to take it off that inside layer where we're going to pop the shaker pieces. So again, you know me and the foam tape, and I'm going to try and do it without resting it flat because I don't want to smudge the ink. Talk about do everything backwards. It's come on.
I can't remember which acetate has a coating, asked Connie. Does the heat-resistant acetate have a protective coating, or is it the other one?
I know that the one that I use all the time is the A5 pack of acetate that we sell, and that does have a coating on. And it's fairly easy to spot. If you have a look at it carefully, one side looks more frosted than the other. And invariably that's the side that's got the coating on, and I just use my pokey tool in the corner just gently, and you can lift it up and it just peels away.
Excellent.
And then that side, you know that side is lovely and clean. I always sort of take it off the last thing when I'm working at home, so that you've got a nice, but if you do get any marks or any smudges on your acetate, if you've got some rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol, just on a little bit of tissue, it will just clean the acetate up beautifully. It really does bring it up nicely. So here we go then, we've got this at the ready, and we're going to pop some of those beautiful iridescent pieces. Oh, they're all jumping out already. A lot of people
very happy to see you do this on acetate, Jan. Deborah says, glad to have Jan show us stamping on acetate. I think a lot of people maybe seeing this for the first time.
So again, I'm just going to pop some of those in the centre, and I tend to work this way round, purely because if I put them in here and then put my card on the top, I can't see what I'm doing and whether it's straight or not. So I usually put these in a little cluster on the actual card itself, and then we're going to lay this one over the top. So again, I've not bothered taking the liner off the outside one. I just wanted that to bridge the gap to keep it nice and even. And again, making sure that these are sticking out, because we're going to use those to fasten the baubles on. And that one's just going to lay right over the top, just leaving that little border, and make sure that all that tape is really stuck down. And then don't be tempted. We're all giddy. We're all eager to get those shakers going. Don't be tempted to shake it. Just let that tape settle and stick in place before we actually start shaking it about. And then this one's going to go across the bottom. So again, I'm just going to pop some little tiny dots. If you've got your dotty tape pen, you could use that. If you've got the sticker machines, you could actually make this sticky. You could die cut it with double-sided adhesive. So many different ways of getting the, which I forget most of them and still end up coming back to my glue every time. I have the sticky back adhesive, the double-sided adhesive, and I always end up forgetting to put it on my cardstock before I die cut it. But again, this, I usually just take off any of the excess glue so that I've just got a little bit left on.
I'm still sad that you don't have your dirty rag anymore, Jan. I love that dirty old rag.
Commented on my dirty old rag, but yeah,
same now. You've got a clean microfiber.
It really did. It got to the point where I had to retire it. This one's getting there. I must admit, I do use them for pretty much everything, whether it's cleaning the surface, cleaning up ink, cleaning my fingers, whatever it is, I'm forever using the one at home. Now, I've got one in my craft room at home that's very, very dirty. Lives under the edge of my craft desk. Do you know, I have an ongoing fear. After reading an article, now you guys over in the States, and certainly I know if Sarah's still watching, she'll appreciate this, because I know they have some very big spiders over in Australia.
Do indeed.
But I read an article about fake widow spiders in the UK.
Yeah.
And it said that they like to hide in sort of places where they could crawl into. So every morning when I get into my craft room, I have to whip the cloth out and give it a good shake.
Do you get many fake widows in Sheffield?
I don't know. I'm just not willing to. I don't want to find out, honestly. I really don't want to
The first
find
night,
out.
my biggest... I'll tell you after you've done this, Jan, but I've got a bit of a story there about spiders in Australia for you.
Now, I did have some foam pads. Yeah, I'm not a big lover. I can cope with them.
No, I don't like snakes
I had to
either.
learn to cope with spiders when I was teaching, because obviously the children don't like you killing them, which is your normal reaction is to just squish them, isn't it? Let's face it.
Oh, I don't think it is, Jan. Maybe yours.
Maybe it was mine, yeah. But obviously the children didn't like that. So I got very, very apt with the glass and the card underneath and escorting them outside. So yeah, not
One
too
of the
bad,
best
but-
things about living in a third floor apartment, Jan, the lack of any kind of spiders or any of that kind of thing. When I was living in a house, you used to get loads of them. I haven't had a single spider in my apartment since I've been there in 2 years.
Well, I saw a photo again on social. I should stop looking. There was somebody had posted a photograph of one hiding inside, you know, the little recess under the door handle for your car.
Oh,
There was
God,
one
Jan.
hiding in there.
You need to... What are you doing on these Facebook groups?
I don't know, but I'm scaring myself
Why are you
half
doing
to
it to
death,
Facebook?
honestly.
I
Yeah.
thought I was bad at,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't
getting
know.
in TikTok
People must
black
know.
holes.
And they must just put things about spiders on, yeah.
The one I can't stop watching, which is absolutely gross, I can't quite believe I'm about to tell you this, is TikTok videos of people having compounded earwax removed.
I wonder what he was going to
And
say.
then you get the
people
video,
having-
you get the video of them actually doing it and taking it out.
No,
and, honestly,
Joe.
and some of them, they're like, the plugs are like, they're like this long. Jan's in the bin.
Oh,
honestly,
Joe, that is
guys,
disgusting, Joe.
just trust me, right? Go and watch one.
No.
It is the most satisfying feeling
No,
ever.
I don't
Because as it
agree.
comes out, you're like,
Oh, no, stop it. That's disgusting. You need to get a life. Seriously.
that and the pimple popper videos. Oh, my idea of good night, that.
How did I know that was coming? I don't want to know. No, honestly.
It's
Right.
the way they always set them to like operatic, energetic music that makes me laugh.
I actually stuck this down onto the back of the frame beforehand because I wanted to use this now to anchor as if those little baubles are actually hanging on the thread there. So I've put one flat and one on a foam pad, but because we're sticking it to all those different layers again, I'm just going to pop a bit of wet glue on there as well. And then this one's going to come down onto that next piece of twine there and literally just stick behind that one. Okay, so yeah, we got there in the end. The tape's dry, you can see all those beautiful shaker pieces in there, but yeah, you've got the stamping onto the acetate, you've got that beautiful die cut wording, and then all those beautiful little shaker. I just love those iridescent pieces. So that, along with the ribbon, I need excess supplies of. I can just see this going in lots of different things there. But yeah, really, really nice. Everything works together. The only thing that I
Really cool.
really added to that was that ink, just to colour the framework there.
Really, really cool. If you want to go for this, I'm going to quickly whiz back through what you're getting in here. So you'll get the paper pad in the 6x6 and the 12x12. You will get, of course, the gilding flakes in here. You're going to get the ribbons as well. The beautiful sequins. That faux snow is coming included for you too. And of course you will get that luxury cardstock within there as well. So they are your sort of embellishments and paper elements. Let me now run you through exactly what you're getting as well in terms of the hardware. So you're going to get these 3 awesome edgeable dies in there with the different sentiments. Merry Christmas. Sorry, what did the first one say? Merry Christmas? Merry and Bright, sorry. Then you've got your Happy Holidays and the Happy Christmas. You've got your wonderful sparkling snowflakes, those wonderful luxury foiled card pad. You get 12 sheets in there. This one is your snowflake edgeable. You've got the Merry Christmas stamp and dies, the Enchanted Christmas tree. You've got the Christmas tree frame. You'll also get the Christmas tree edgeable. You've got the Christmas tree foliage, and also the beautiful baubles there as well. $124.99 or $162.95 is the price there on those. Don't forget about my bundle bonanza that's happening over on the website at the minute. Who's that guy? Here it comes. That looks like a dodgy photo from like a nightclub night out. You know when they post the photos to Facebook and there's always one guy at the front really enthusiastic. Look, there's that guy. So I've selected, along with the team next door, some brilliant deals, up to 75%. There's a couple of 80% offs in there too, happening until the end of tomorrow. You've got to snap all of those up, which is wonderful. Lots of things Dr. Pimple Popper has their own TV show now in America. Lynn's adding insult to injury, really, Jan, because the reason she's late, my excuse was I was having a triple pepperoni pizza for dinner.
Triple pepperoni, wow.
Makes me so sad. I haven't eaten a carbohydrate for 2 weeks and it's absolutely killing me, Lynn. And now just to finish it off. I'm salivating so hard about the pepperoni pizza I can't get my words out. Honestly, I can smell it, I can taste it. Now to finish off eating a Magnum.
Oh,
living the dream. Honestly, throw a jammy dodger in there. That's my idea of a perfect evening. Is it a white one, a milk chocolate one? We'd like to know, please, Lynn.
Do you know, I had one the other day, Joe. If you like a Magnum, it was cookies and cream. Magnum. White Magnum with cookie pieces in the chocolate coating and then sort of swirls in through the ice. Oh, it was to die. I only got half of it, which is probably a good thing when I shouldn't have been eating it all, but my Toby chose a little ice lolly. We'd been swimming. Yeah. He chose a little ice lolly in the shape of a rocket and I chose the Magnum. Sat down with him, with Mum, and he starts munching away on his little ice lolly and then, swap, Nanny. So I got the half-eaten ice lolly and he had the rest of the Magnum. Bless him. He loves a good ice cream, he does.
Does he?
And I thought, well, to be honest, there are less calories in the ice lolly, so he was doing me a favour, really.
Yeah, there's loads of good ice cream shops around where I live, and it's just so hard not going to them.
It is so hard, it really is. And I just think life's too short, Joe. Every now and then you need to treat yourself.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a day all about ice creams today. Susie asked, what is a fake widow? Is that like a little black widow spider? I found 2 of those in my carport a couple of years ago. They really do have the red hourglass on their back. Ooh.
Yes, they do.
That the one?
Yeah. And they're called fake widows. They're not a black widow. And they are. We actually get them. They're coming over into this country. My son-in-law found one in his garage. And he ran a mile because he doesn't like spiders either. He says he was actually looking at me. You know, he says I was off out of there.
Some of them, I used to live in like a thatched cottage. Honestly, some of them had teeth. They were so big. Honestly, I thought they were going to like walk off with a telly. They were so that big, Jan. Yes, and Jean says my hubby has got a very nasty spider bite just the other day. His arm was black and blue. Oh, that doesn't sound nice. It looks horrible. Lynn says it was a milk chocolate one. I actually prefer a white one, but they were sold out. There you are. Mary Pat says stunning card. Loads of love coming in for that card from Adriana, Mary, Jenny, who else? Mo, Kathy, Mary, Susan, all loving that card. Yeah, when I was in Australia, Jan, the first evening I ever landed in Australia, I was really, really worried. I was really, really worried about going to Australia because of the creepy crawlies. I was staying in a little sort of rental unit in Sydney, and it was kind of like a one space. It was on 3 like tiers, but it was like a living room space, a kitchen space, and then a bedroom space, all open. First night I got there, absolutely exhausted. I had a pair of flip-flops on, or thongs as they call them in Australia, and I was watching the telly here, and all of a sudden I saw something scuttle out of the corner of my eye, and I don't know what happened. It was like I was possessed by this other person, this really brave man. I don't know, in one foul swoop I managed to whip my flip-flop off as I jumped off the feet, and I just ran out, I launched myself across the room and splattered it.
Oh wow.
And it was like a half spider, half scorpion. It was kind of like a spider, but it also had this bit coming up from the back of it as well. And it was about that big. Oh. Honestly. Honestly, I saw my life. I don't know what happened though, because normally I just screamed and ran, but I just got it. Yeah, I had to. I mean, it was me or the scorpion. One of us was going to go that night in that little apartment.
Yeah, just sort of like bravery just in those few seconds when you needed it. I know. I'm impressed. Very impressed.
I've never been that brave ever again, to be honest. I want to talk to you about one of the bundle bonanzas. I've never seen one before. I've never seen it again.
No, I don't want to see one again either.
No, hopefully not. This is from the bundle bonanza. It's a great 35% discount for you on this 58.45 or 71.95. Johnny's saying maybe it was the guy you rented the Airbnbs off Pet. I hope not. He gave me a 5-star review, so I'm sure it's fine. You've got 3 different ones in here, and they make these really cool shaped cards for you, as you can see here. You can actually just use them as a topper, or you can build them into a card concept, as has been done just here. They all lift up apart from that one.
Oh,
and it always
Does the flat lift?
Sorry?
Is it the top of the handbag? Does the
No, the whole thing should lift up. Hold on. Yeah, strange.
How strange.
But they will build into that sort of
Yeah, they
context
do
if you want
make
to.
a sort of shaped card blank, yeah.
And you've got sentiments in there as well, which is brilliant. So definitely snap those up. 58.45 or 71.95 if you want to get those. We're going to Twas the Night. Let's grab these out of here. Did we find the sleigh? We did find the sleigh. Right.
Parked round the back.
Let's parked out the back on the roof apparently. We would have heard it. Let me pop that onto
Shuffling
there.
well over there, aren't you?
So there we are. I've got myself in a right 2 and 8 there, haven't I? Right. Let me start this off then. So let's start with a build a stocking. This is a really cool one, and you can really sort of build that up, which is brilliant. You've got lots of different options when it comes to colouring and assembling it. You will also get as well this one here, which is your build a sleigh, which is fantastic. So you've got that one in there. We then have the embellishments too. So you're going to get the twine in here, and you'll also get the berries. You've got the frosted ones, the metallic ones, and also the acorns in there, which is gorgeous. This one here, this is your window, your traditional window. We then have the music and swirls here. You've got the pine tree edge. This one here is your Christmas Eve, a really lovely stamp set, lots of incredible detail, even in what's going on behind the window there. This one is Happy Christmas to All. You will get St. Nicholas, stockings by the fire. This one here is a decorative frame, and you've also got the festive foliage in there as well. So a really great selection, but what a cracking saving. You are saving more than double what you're spending. That is before your platinum, that is before your club inspired discount. So £83 brings it down to £40 in the UK, $102 off in the US brings it down to $50. I can't remember the last time you were saving over $100 on something. It's very rare that we see discounts this deep. The other great thing is we've discounted it at the optimum time, because it's the perfect time to start your Christmas crafting as well. £32 or $40 as a platinum member if you are in the US. That means platinum members stateside here are saving $112. That's amazing value, it really is. Terry Lee Tyrrell says, scorpions are my greatest fear and they are everywhere in Arizona. Ooh. Susan says, I just bought an electric zapper for spiders and critters. I'm a bit braver now than I have ever been. Pandas Craft says, I shout the dog to get the spiders.
My dog would run in the other direction.
We are,
She's a scaredy cat.
An ex of mine had a French bulldog, and that used to love getting the spiders. Let him in, sort them right out.
If she saw anything moving, she'd be off, bless her. She's
really?
Not the bravest.
Not the bravest.
And the other one probably wouldn't be able to see them now, so...
oh, bless. Gosh. Susan says, I love the stocking stamp and die made an upside down Z fold card and hung the stockings off of it. Now that is a cracking idea.
Fun, yes.
Absolutely love that.
Great
Any
idea. Questions
or comments you've got, get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion, of course, over on YouTube. I guess this is where we're going next, is it, Jan?
It sure is, yes. I'm just going to get my stamping ink at the ready, and we're going to do that stocking. We're going to build a stocking, and we're going to use it to make a gift tag to go on top of a box this time, so a little bit different. And we've got a completely different colourway with that Twas the Night. So, lovely big sort of statement stamp here. And then you get the cuff. There's two different type cuffs for the stocking. And then you've got all these gorgeous little toppers, whether you want the florals in there, presents in there. This one's got toys in, and then this one's got more of your sort of your gingerbread, your candy cane, more of your Christmassy type thing. So you can decide what's actually coming out of the stocking at the top. Loved it. And then you've got all the dies to cut those respective pieces out. So you've got the big stocking, you've got the different cuffs there, and then you've got, it was great fun trying to marry up which of these fit the one that I'd chosen. So all we're going to do is stamp this out, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of colouring. Again, I've got them coloured in because it's nice to be able to spend a bit of time with the colouring. So I'm going to stamp out the stocking there, just using some alcohol-proof ink, because I'm going to use my alcohol markers again for this one. And again, it's just an outline stamp, so just keep that ink pad nice and flat so that you don't get ink. It's not the end of the world if it goes inside the stamp, because it won't make contact with the cardstock. I've got a little bit, I can just see a little bit going on inside there, but we're only going to press to that level of the outline. So even though there is some ink in the middle, it shouldn't transfer into your design there. And then just get that stamp down. Just missed a little bit there, you can just see. So again, that ink will be on there and pops it back in place. Again, I've got not pressed harder. I was just conscious I didn't want that ink to go from the middle. There we go. Fantastic. But that's the benefit of having this system. So again, we've got that set down now, and I'm going to pop a little bit of colour in there. So pop that one on there. I just need my piece of cardstock to go underneath again when we're alcohol colouring. We do need that sort of, it's like a blotter underneath it to prevent the alcohol. The reason we're doing it, if you've not seen this before, is the alcohol does bleed through. This is Nina cardstock that I've got here, which is much lighter weight than the stamping all-purpose card. And even with the all-purpose card, the ink is made to bleed through. And if your ink comes into contact with something that's non-porous, it's got nowhere to go other than back up into your cardstock. So it's then soaking back up from underneath. And I often see people where they said, oh, it's bled outside the lines, and it's just purely because there's too much ink, it doesn't know where to go. By popping the piece of cardstock underneath, it prevents that pooling and keeps that ink where you want it. So I've just taken a couple of colours. I'm going to go for traditional red and green here. So we're going to have a red stocking with the little green patches on it. So my dark red blend is dark red 1, 3 and 4. So again, nice, straightforward. So I'm just going to take the red one, the lightest of the red, and I'm going to add that colour in. Mine are getting a little bit dry. I think I'm going to have to...
A few of these, I think, are on the way out, actually, Jan. You're the sort of third person that said that this week.
The
I mean,
what,
we have
sorry?
had them forever, haven't we?
These are actually mine.
Oh, these are yours?
These are mine
okay.
from home, yeah. And I'm just looking at that one. I think I'm about ready to replace some of them, but I have had them a long time, I must admit. But yeah, looking at that one, it is actually getting a little bit dry. So again, I want to add, and don't worry if it looks patchy. This is just getting that first layer down to start and have something to work against. So again, I want to fill the whole area in this time. Tend to work around the edge so that I've got something to work up to. Now,
Heather Springer is actually, she's actually given me some ideas that I'm on board with. She says, I actually love a cauliflower pizza crust.
Ooh,
how do you make a cauliflower pizza crust? I'd love to know.
Cauliflower is one of those things that's been brought into use instead of flour and rice, isn't it? I've heard of cauliflower rice.
No, it works quite well.
I've
Cauliflower
never tried
mash
it.
on top of I've been having cauliflower mash on top of a cottage pie. Absolutely delicious. Really, really nice. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it wasn't
spaghetti, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't know that the cauliflower mash on top of something like a cottage pie wasn't potato.
Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, it was great. It was really, really
right.
good.
My head just tells me that that's not mash, you know, and I have issues with it.
It doesn't taste like cauliflower. You flavour it a little bit. You put sort of spices and stuff in it. And when it's on something else, like a cottage pie, you wouldn't even, if you gave it to someone and didn't tell them it wasn't potato, they wouldn't really question it.
I think it's the same with the pizza base. They sort of use it as a flour substitute. So yeah, don't worry, it does look very patchy there, I agree. Partly because my pen's drying out, partly because I've just literally rushed it through. Now gone to the complete other end, which is my darkest shade. And I'm going to go all the way around the outside of it here with that slightly darker. So this one was DR4 as opposed to the first one, which was DR1. And take this round. Now, if you're not too quick with your colouring, it might pay to do this in stages, but I'm going to go all the way around in one go. We always say to you, work on a smaller area, but because this is all one piece, I'm literally going to go around the whole thing with that darker one. And then I'm going to come back to my mid-tone, and wherever I've put the darker one down, I'm just going to nudge the edge of it, just so that mid-tone starts to work into that darker tone. I'm not going all the way over the top of it because it will lighten it up, it will sort of start and bleach it out. I'm just literally nudging the edge of it so that those two bits of solvent start and work together and sort of play together nicely. So again, I'm just bringing this a little bit further in. Probably a bit more so than I have done on the other one because, as I say, that lightest shade, I've obviously used the red more than the other colours, and that one is getting a bit dry. So again, just taking it all the way round, just touching that edge where that darker ink is. And I'm sort of going around in little circular motions this time, which has given me good coverage over that base layer. And then I'm going to come back with that lighter shade again and hope that I've got enough left in there to just finish off. And again, now I'm just going to take it up to that mid-tone and then just see if we can get enough ink down so that it looks not quite so patchy. So again, just nudging that edge so that this starts to bleed into the mid-tone one. And it does look a bit stripy at first. You think, oh, it's not quite blended well. But the best tip I can give you with alcohol colouring is to walk away and leave it for a little while, because you need to leave time for the alcohol element to actually evaporate. And once it's evaporated, you'll get a much better blend. So never judge it at this point when you've just finished colouring. You might think, oh, it just looks like a load of stripes, Jan. Okay. This one is a little bit...
looks great, Jan.
There's not as much ink in that light red, I must admit. So I'm going to have to get an individual red, I think, to top those up.
Apparently you can buy cauliflower pizza bases in the supermarket.
It's still on about.
Well, I tell you what, I'll be looking for straight after this show. Cauliflower pizza base is going to be.
So it takes the carb element out of it. It's the carbs that are stodgy that make you feel a bit lethargic, isn't it?
Oh, I've never met a carb I didn't like, Jan.
Well, neither have I, but I don't like what it does to you. I must admit, I always go through a real sleepy phase if I've had a lot of, pasta or pizza or anything like that. So again, I'm just bringing, this one is light green blend. And again, I just wanted to keep that sort of red and green theme, just for the little patchy bits there. And again, I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to come down to that dark one. So you've got quite a contrast between the lightest one and the darkest one there. Through to the mid, and it's the same process each time with the alcohol markers. And again, initially it does look a little bit stripy, but just give it chance for all that alcohol to evaporate out. And I'll show you the one that I've done at home that's actually dried properly now, and you'll see the difference. So again, just taking and moving the artwork rather than getting into those sort of awkward angles. If you've got the rotating board from Totally Tiffany, that's great for this kind of thing. It really is. Mine lives down the side of my chair in the lounge, because usually when I've got something stamped ready to colour, I go and sit back in my comfy chair in the lounge and then just grab the board to put these things on and have a play. But you can see how we've got that coming along nicely. And then you've got the dye element there, which is literally going to cut it out. So again, the dye is in the centre of the metal, but there's actually enough space there that I can see the whole of my stamped image through the centre of that dye there. And then that cuts it out. And when we've done that, if I show you the one that I've done at home, you can see how that blending has actually started to bleed into one another that little bit better. It's less stripy, there's less obvious layers of it, and it does make a difference when you've left it for a little while. So I've cut that out with the dye. And then I've also done the stocking top, which is going to go on here. And then I chose the one with the presents in. So we've got a little toy train, the teddy bear, a couple of presents, and the candy cane. And you can see how those have been made to
so
fit
cool,
together.
aren't they?
Really clever. So you can basically design your own stocking. You can pop in it whatever you want. If you didn't want to use one of the toppers, I was just thinking it'd look really nice with you could use one of these little die cuts to give you the shape. If you've got some of those little tiny letter stamps, I've got some little alphabet stamps that are just on a tiny little peg, and you could actually pop names on the top of the stockings if you were putting them on Christmas cards or anything like that. Would look really cute as well. So what we're going to do then is pop that together, and I've just brought a piece that I've already prepped, which is just using, I've got a set of tag dies at home, and I've just cut one in glitter card, and I've done one in cream, and then just inked it round the edge. Flicked a bit of water at it again, just to give that sort of oldie worldy look. And we're actually going to build the stocking on top of here like this. We're going to pop these two flat, and then I've actually got some little foam pads on the back of the stocking topper. So again, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue to pop this on, and then I'm just going to put the box lid together. I've done a lot of the matting and layering on the box because it was about the stocking more so than the actual box itself. So yeah, stocking down there.
Really lovely colours, quite traditional this as well.
It's
really
yeah.
lovely, and I think that's the great thing about investing in a collection like this, is it's totally timeless. You know, it's going to last you forever, which is the great thing. As long as the stamps and dies, of course, you look after them. Of course, the embellishments, the consumable elements, are going to go through this Christmas. But this is going to be that stamp and die collection, I think, that you bring out year after year, Jan, isn't it?
It is, honestly, and I think whenever you've got stamps and dies like that, it allows you to continue using things. Even if it's a collection that had a paper pad that's sold out, you can still use the rest of it and mix and match it with other papers you have in your stash, or you can make your own backgrounds with inks and things like that. So yeah, there's always ways of using it if you've got those stamps and dies to work with. So this one, as I say, I've just put some little foam pads, and I'm just going to sort of partly cover the top section there so that we've got that stocking with all the little toys. And then I've just popped some bells out of my stash. The gold twine is part of that collection there. And then we're actually going to put this one on the top. Now, as I say, I've done a fair bit of matting and layering on this one because it wasn't necessarily about making the box. So I've already got these on. We're going to do sort of a reconstructed box. This one's going to go on the top. And again, I did have the, although we've not got it in the bundle now, I did actually have the paper pad for the 'Twas the Night. So anybody that's got this at home, this is one of the papers from there, along with some red cardstock from that same combination there, that same collection. So we've got those on there. We're going to do, because this is not as thick, the cardstock, I've done it sort of as a reinforced box, which is what those extra pieces are on here. So we're actually going to pop it together like a normal box at first, just at the corners. And it's a great way, if you have got cardstock that's not quite as thick as what you would like, it's a great way of just reinforcing them. I've done this before on the shows and showed you how to do this. It's just a case of extending the pieces, and then I've got a piece of tape again just down this edge, and all we're going to do is pop this bit now inside. It's a nice way to actually finish off the boxes as well, because it covers where you've actually just stuck the corner pieces in as well. So again, it just gives those sides a bit of extra strength, and it does cover up some of the sort of mechanics inside the box as well. So again, just fold all those in. And then I'm just going to make sure that that tape's nicely stuck down there with the bone folder. Get rid of all the bubbles out of there. I've already popped the base together, and I've just used plain black for the base. I'm not too fussed about that being a fancy colour. And then our little tag is literally just going to go on the top of the box there. So yeah, these would be great, you know, to sort of batchmate the tags. You know, if you wanted to leave it loose, obviously you could write your details on the back, but just for the benefit of the demo, I'm actually going to stick that one down. But you can see there with the little bells on top. Again, really, really simple. So just using that builder stocking there just to create that main focal point. It could have just as easily been on the front of a card. It could have been an embellishment on a scrapbook page. So many different ways. Just the tags, you could do a set of tags if you wanted to pop those as a gift set for someone. Really, really nice and simple. And I love the fact that you've got the different toppers for the stocking, so you can decide what's popping out of the top of the stocking there as well.
Yeah, really, really cool, and one of so many great things you're going to be able to create with that. Let me take you back through what you're getting in this particular collection. Then, so you're going to get the twine, you will also get the embellishments in there as well. Then you've also got the build a stocking, which you've just seen Jan use. You will get the build a sleigh, exactly the same concept, but to make that wonderful Santa sleigh. You've then got a traditional window in there, traditional window, really cool. Cut and emboss folder, and those windows, they do open up. A bit fingers of thumbs here, aren't I? They will open up, which is wonderful. We've got Music and Swirls, which is that one just there. We then have the Pine Tree Edge in here as well. You've got Christmas Eve, which is all of that lovely imagery in that's very Dickensian almost, this one. The Happy Christmas to All is all your different Christmas sentiments taken care of. Some really wonderful imagery if you love using your colouring mediums there across these different stamp sets. So that was St Nicholas. You've got stockings by the fire, decorative frame, and you'll also get the festive foliage in there too. £40 or $50 to get you all of that. Look at the saving, £83 or $102 before you take your Club Inspired discount off. If you don't yet own any elements of this collection, I think today would be a really great idea to snap that up whilst it's at such a brilliant, brilliant price. A lot of love coming in for that last demo as well. Pat says, so cute. I love to watch Jan craft, very relaxing and inspiring. And good to see you, Joe, my favourite presenter. Oh, I bet you say that to everyone. I'm only joking. Hannah Law says, thanks for the tip of reinforcing the sides of the box. Genius. Jude says, great box, Jan. Natty says, very cute box and tag, Jan. Thank you so much. Right, we've got some pictures coming in still. Some more craft alongs. Linda's sent this one in. Loads of people crafted along, I think, today, Jan. What a lovely one that is there from Linda.
I found the bead. These look very similar to the ones that I used actually. That bead trim. They're just a different colour, but yeah, love how people are bringing in the different colours with them, and the flowers look super as well there, Linda. Well done.
Really, really cool. Julie has done this one here.
That one looks nice, doesn't it?
Some different colours. They're very bright and vibrant, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, with the pink tissue in it. I like to see them in different colours. Again, if you haven't got the collection, it doesn't mean you can't craft along with us. You know, you don't have to use what we've got here. The idea is that you use the same products, but I love how that one's been translated into a different collection. And even with the flowers and everything. Well done, Julie. It looks gorgeous.
Really, really gorgeous, that one. Got to go back to the weekend Super Saver. It's still busy on this. Oh, shut the front door and call me Barbara. 70% now of this is gone. It will probably not be here tomorrow. If you're watching the overnight repeat, absolutely check the website for the stock situation. 2 nice big compartments in there. 3 big gusseted pockets on here too. Somewhere to store your pens. You've got these nice big clear pockets inside. It's excellent. Excellent, excellent value, especially the US price. I don't know what's going on there. And also then, if you're in the US, we're going to give you $45 worth of adhesive included. Essentially, the whole thing, you get the whole thing for the price of what the all-purpose and a couple of the red liners should be. You get everything. You get the tote, you get the all-purpose, you get not 2 but 3 of the red liner tapes as well. So 3 of those are going in there. We're going to give you foam pads. 3 sets of those are going to go in there, and we've also got a foam and a roll going in there too. All of that, $24.99 in the UK, $19.95 in the US, and the platinum price is quite unbelievable. I mean, I reckon surely this must cost us more than that platinum price of $15.96. That is excellent. If you want it though, be quick, 70% gone, and a lot of that is in baskets at the moment. So please be fast for that one. Right, we are going to move on. We are going to go and have a little look at Frosty and Bright. I'll go back through everything that you get in it after Jan's demonstration, but beautiful collection. We had to go back to it, didn't we, Jan?
We did, yeah, and I did say that I would bring in the inks, so we're going to have a play with those for this one. So I've got a little bit of tissue there at the side. I'm going to bring in my craft mat for this one because I personally find the inks behave better for this technique on. I don't know what it is about the mat versus the glass mat, but I just think they actually work better. So, water reactive inks, exactly what it says on the tin, all right? So we're literally going to make our background with these. So again, straight to that craft mat. I'm just going to pop some of that ink onto here. So this one's the polar blue, which is a really nice sort of ice blue. And then I want my water spritzer there just to extend that medium. And then I've just taken a piece of smooth all-purpose card and I'm literally going to stick it in here. Just look at that, lush.
Really
lush,
nice.
lush, lush. This is one of my favourite things to do, is just making backgrounds. And don't think about it. Don't think, oh, well, I've not got where I want it. It doesn't work like that. It's a case of picking up the ink, all right, and just literally getting it onto the card. And then we can sort out where all the gaps are afterwards, okay? So that's my blue layer. And then just for our producer, Johnny, it had to come out tonight, didn't it? I've just noticed that there's actually a little crack
got it plugged in?
the wire. I have got it plugged in, but yeah, there's a little crack in the wire there. So I really am getting to the point where I think maybe I need to buy.
Is that why it's not working, you think? Because the wire.
It surely is working.
I don't think it is, Jan.
But I want to actually dry the ink, because when you start playing with different colours, I'm going to mop up.
We're going to be here a while if you've not got it on, Jan.
It is on. Come put your hand under it, Joe. Come and tell me whether it's on.
I think that was the sound of the fan in there, yeah.
Never gets old, does it? But yeah, what I want to do is dry that first one, because I don't want to create mud. Honestly, you wouldn't believe how excited
maybe
they get about this,
maybe the company that produces that, Jan. Maybe the company that produces that could get us some fans for the studio. That'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe.
The quiet ones.
That's quite. Then we could keep them on, couldn't we?
Yeah.
So then I'm going to go to the next colour. So we're going to bring in that lovely frosted sea glass, and we're going to do the same again. But if you don't dry them in between, you can end up with sort of muddy colours. Because the colours all start mixing together. I actually want to keep these separate. So this one's dry now. It will reactivate it with the water, but it won't mix the same as if it was actually wet. So now I am going to think a little bit more. Because I've got some white areas, I'm going to aim those pieces that are still white into the gaps there. I don't mind if it overlaps, but I want to take away some of that white space. So again, I've got a piece there. So just sort of aiming in the ink to fill some of those pieces in. And again...
Susan just said you could make a background to match my shirt.
I surely could, and I've got the exact colours at home to do that. We've talked about this before, yeah. Any of you that use the Distress range out there, we were looking at cracked pistachio and spun sugar on that shirt would be perfect. Yes, the old pistachio nuts are back again. So again, we've got that second layer, and I'm going to just run this over again just to dry that layer. And then we're going to do the lilac in there as well, which is lavender ice. So really, really, it gives you a nice idea of the colours. And these fit in nicely. You know, they're not the same as the ones that we've got. This green is a totally different green to both of the ranges that we've got in the Harmony ink pads already. It is more like that pistachio shade, whereas we've got the proper grass greens with the grasshopper range, and then we've got the topaz green, which is darker than this one. So yeah, they're a nice blend to fit in with the others. Again, you'll see with this one, nothing like pale fig. It's a completely different shade. So same again. Give it a little spritz just to get that moisture in there. And now I've not really got a lot of white space left, but I'm just going to overlay it again and just bring some of that gorgeous purple in there. It's more like a lavender shade, this one, than the purples we've got. There's what we call pink purples and red purples and blue purples. And the pale fig in our current range is more of that warm tone, whereas this, I think, is more of a sort of a cooler lavender shade in there. So again, just looking at those last little bits, and you can see there we've pretty much got good coverage on that. I'm going to die cut into this anyway, so I'm not too fussed about the whole thing. And again, just take any excess off. If you've got spare cardstock, you can carry on mopping that up rather than waste it. And then I just want to make sure it's dried off. Just one last time, giving it a waft around. It's definitely on. I can feel the heat from it. Yep, and then we're going to die cut into this. Okay, so I'm actually going to bring in that lovely set here. Now this is actually an edgeable, but they've given you the external edge as well. So what I mean by that is the piece on its own here has a cutting edge down this side. So if we're to cut this into here, it's going to stay attached at this side. So if you imagine that being on the side of a card, you're going to get this lovely shaped edge around it. But they've given you the extra edge as well, so that you can make this into a complete piece. And that's what I'm going to do. I want to actually cut this out of the card to use as a topper on another piece of cardstock. So again, these fit together beautifully. Now normally I would say to you to make sure that there's a gap, but this one's been made so that it literally locks together inside right up to the edge here. So I'm just going to tape it down at the top there, tape it at this side, just to make sure, again, it is important that they don't overlap. And then we're going to bring our plates in And again, you can see that fits beautifully in that Gemini Junior plate size. So again, pop that through the Gemini, and we're going to bring that through and just take all those little pieces out. Oops. So again, just lift that off and take away. I'm not too fussed about the tape because I don't actually need the outside piece. I have die cut into the one that I did at home just to add. So where it's just snagged it here, I'm not too worried about that. So we've got that external edge there. Now, if it hasn't met completely, you can just literally snip with your scissors. So again, this one, we've pretty much, there's just a little tiny, yep, pretty much there. So you could actually use this and inlay, maybe cut this in a different colour and inlay it back in. So maybe cut it in silver and put it into the gap. Now I can just see on the back there that it's not actually cut all the way through. So what I'm going to do is grab my metal shim there.
Lillian points out that the pale fig is actually listed online in the colour charts as pale pig. Yeah, it's listed
Pale
online
pig,
in the
that's
colour chart as
brilliant.
pale pig. Don't know why. That's why I think I keep calling it pale pig. Dances with Pam says I should try this on my ink. It looks so cool. Rajut says what a gorgeous background. Suzanne says can't wait to try the technique. Dances with Pam says the colours are amazing. Sandra's loving it as well. Says I have those ink pads. I'm going to try this. And Debbie says I love these colours. Expecting my Frosty and Bright inks tomorrow. So yay me, absolutely.
There we go. So just by adding that metal shim in, it's just applied the pressure that we needed in there. So again, I'm just going to take, I like to take the card away from the actual die, and I'll clean that one out in a second. But again, you can see here we've got, just spend a little bit of time just popping all those pieces out. If you've got your die brush, you can use your die brush on there. There's some very, very curly pieces in it as well, so just take your time popping them out. They like to grab onto the bit that's left there. You can just see that they've all die cut through, and it is really a beautiful design just in its own right. But I just wanted to showcase those inks as well. So we sort of made our own background that fits the colour palette. It's been, you know, really thought through. And again, just take your time to pop them all through. As I say, there's some really curly bits in that like to just stick and hang on there. But you can see the idea with it. We're getting all those little pieces. I'm not going to pop them all out because I've got one. I saved the star. There's a nice little star comes out of the top there. Save that bit, and I've used that as part of the embellishment. If I show you exactly the same idea there. Oops, come out. Yep, pretty much the same, and I've just taken all the pieces out there. So just carry on with the pokey tool there, or the brush, popping those out. And if I put that on the back of there, you can just see how it really comes to life. Now you can cut this out of paper. You know, if you're not into the inks and it's not your kind of thing, you can just die cut straight that into a piece of the pattern paper, and you'll get a similar kind of idea. But I just thought it would look really nice. And then again, I want to keep this quite simple and let this be the focal point. So I've actually stayed white on white. I've got my white card blank, and then I've taken another white piece that I've just run through an embossing folder and inked around the edge. So I want to keep this quite neutral in the background. She left that there for a reason. Do you know, it's a good job I put this on the back. So I'm going to stick it onto the card last. I'm going to bring this piece on next. Okay, so dotty tape pen at the ready then, perfect for this one. And again, just nice and light right over the back of your die cut. Again, you know, if you're not a fan of the tape pen, you could put double-sided adhesive on the back of here. If you do put double-sided adhesive on the back of your dies, on the back of your card for your die cuts, I would definitely add the metal shim into your plate combination, just because you've got that backing on there as well. And sometimes it looks as if it hasn't cut, but it doesn't need to cut through the backing sheet. You'll find when you remove the backing, all the little pieces will come out with it. So what I'm going to do is pop this slightly down to one corner, like so, and pop that on here. And then again, press it from the back, or if you've got your brayer handy, I sometimes run the brayer over it just to make sure everything's made contact. Now the reason that I stopped what I was doing, that ribbon's here again. I told you I'd got it on everything.
It's back.
It is actually part of this collection, and I wanted a little decoration there. So in comes the Christmas tree foliage. And in this one, you've got that gorgeous little bow die. You can just see there where we've got this one from. And I've cut it twice out of a piece of lilac card, and the second one I've just cut the tails away so that we've got the top, just to give that little bit of dimension again for it. And I've actually got this to fasten across here before we stick it down. So I'm going to use it to stick this bit down, but then I'm also going to wrap it around the card as well, so as if that little bow's hung on the decoration there. So again, we'll pop a bit of tape on the back of here, and hope I can get the back off it now because it's stuck on the ribbon.
Sandra wants to know if there's any plans to restart Craftaganza. To be honest, I've got no idea, Sandra.
I've not heard anything
we thought it might have been this year,
yet.
but who knows? Maybe it will. I know that Rachel, who tended to have quite a big hand in it, didn't she?
Yes.
She has been on maternity, but I think she's coming back fairly soon, so who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe next year. Maybe next year. So yeah, I'm just going to pop this to one sort of edge and stick the bow down. And then hopefully, yeah, we're lined up at the back to just wrap that around. That was a good guess there to where I've put my pieces of tape, and then we can actually pop it onto our card. So I was getting ahead of myself. Me and ribbon, I always forget to put ribbon on. So I thought if I put the tape on the back, it will remind me, and it did. So crisis averted there. Little bit of that on the back. This one's going to stick on the front of the card, and I've just inked the edge so that that white stands off against the white card in the background. Again, you could put this on foam tape if you wish. And then I've taken my sentiment from that main set here, and I just wanted the wishing you a, and we've just stamped that out to put on the front. And then the word die and the stamp that you saw me use before, I've actually popped, and we're going to put this inside the card.
Nice.
So I've stamped the Merry, and then I cut the Christmas out of what was left of my ink design that we did, so that this is the same colourway as the tree on the front there. So this is going to go on the inside just to give us a greeting, and it does help stabilise your cards. If ever you've got cards that topple over at the front, excuse me, because you've put a lot of work into the front of your card, stick a piece on the inside like this, and it will help stabilise them and stop them toppling over. It's just because we do so much work on the front that sometimes the fronts get a little bit heavy. But if you just pop a piece inside like this with a stamped, maybe a stamped verse in it or something like that, it just helps to stabilise them a little bit. So this bit's going to go across here. And again, I want to just bring that part way down on there. And then also in that same set here, there's a nice little star as well as part of your foliage. So I've cut that out, and I kept the one that came out of the top of the tree and just made a nice little embellishment that no Christmas tree is complete without the star on top. So rather than just popping this one back in, I've just enlarged it a little bit, popped a foam pad on the back, and again I've cut this one out of the remnants of what was left on the scrap that we cut out of. And then I'm just going to stick that one, oops, into the gap there. And again, really, really contemporary, quite different to what we've seen before. But again, utilising that lovely die-cut
Really
tree.
gorgeous, absolutely
and then, as
brilliant.
I say, just coordinating it with whatever you wanted to pop inside there.
Brilliant. We better have that card of the show then, Jan.
I know,
we are.
time just
We've only got 10
flies.
minutes left on the day, on the show,
On
so
the
the whole
whole
day.
day. Right, let me
lots and
just-
lots of love coming in for that. Mo says, "Whoa, how do I How much do I love that tree? Totally fabulous. Pat loves the ribbon. Jean says very clever, elegant and beautiful card again, says Debbie too. So yes, lots of love for that. But card of the show,
So we've got a lot
Jan.
of turquoise going on tonight, haven't we? We've got a lot of contemporary feel in there tonight. So this was number 1, where we did that loose leaf with the acetate and did some detailing on there with the little strip embossing folders and then them gorgeous snowflakes and a little topper. That was number 1. Number 2, we did Frosty and Bright. So the first one was Watercolour Christmas. This one was Frosty and Bright, and we made that lovely frame with the cut and emboss folder and added those lovely iridescent sequins in there to make the shaker element. Number 2. And then we moved away from contemporary, went a bit more traditional with the red and green. Made the little gift box with that builder stocking on the front. I did forget to put my sentiment on. I've got a little sentiment. It says, "'Twas the night before Christmas." I've just tagged onto the edge of there. So that's number 3. And then number 4, you've just seen us use that set of trio of inks that we've got there, just to create the background, to then die cut that tree and then keep the rest of it fairly simple, to let that tree sort of be the star of the show. So that was number 4.
Brilliant. We have to have a super quick vote on these, and then we'll do card of the day. Jan's definitely going to win today. She really is. Let's go and have a little look then at this Frosty and Bright collection. I will stop this. We'll pause the moment I get a winner. So we've got the 12 by 12 pad in here. Really lovely. Always sets the tone for these collections. Really lovely sort of turquoisey, purpley tones all the way through this, which is absolutely lovely. I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous collection, that one. So that's your 12 by 12, 36 pages in there, 180 GSM. You will get it resized as well, of course, in the 6 by 6, which is excellent. Next up, you are going to receive the gilding flakes as well. They're going to come included for you, as is the ribbons that Jan is absolutely in love with. I know you guys are too. Everything is available individually as well, if you'd like to grab it individually. You've got the faux snow, which is 50 grams, which is loads of that faux snow. You'll also get the 50 grams of the sequins included as well. The sequins, a really big bag of those. For me, I think my favourite element of this might be this luxury cardstock. I think it is so glitzy with the glitter card in there. You've got glitter in here. You've also got pearlescent card too. So you've got 5 colours, 2 pearlescent, 2 glitter as well, which is brilliant. That doesn't make sense, does it? 5 colours, 2 pearlescent, 2 glitter. 5. Oh, it's 20 sheets. Does make sense. I don't know. I thought it was 24 sheets. That's why I was like 5. It doesn't make sense. But it makes total sense. It's me that makes no sense, as always. We've also got a really lovely, like a collection within a collection here of these of the edgeables that you've got. You've got a few different sentiments. You've got Merry and Bright, Happy Holidays. You've also got the Happy Christmas in there. You can use that as a topper, or of course in the concept of your card, so as an edgeable, as you normally would. Brilliant to have those. You've got the sparkling snowflakes coming included. These are your luxury foiled card pads. You get 12 of these in total. 12 of these, and I believe they are 12 different designs. I could be wrong, but yes, you will get those included. You are also going to receive the snowflake edgeable as well. That is coming in there for you, which is really beautiful. Winner of the show is number 2, Jan. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause.
Lovely.
So let me grab. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop. Right, you've also got the craft along over there, haven't you?
I have, yes.
So let me show you number 1. That's card number 1. This is card number 1.
Yep.
You can go for that one. Number 2 is Jan's
Number 2
craft
was the little
along.
craft along basket there with the sunflowers
Beautiful.
on. Number 2.
And then number 3.
Number 3 was that lovely shaker from Frosty and Bright.
Oof, tough one
craft
today.
house here.
I'm going to put my neck on the line and say you'll definitely be top 3 card of the week today.
You think?
Absolutely. I think there's one that could beat you, Jan. I'm not going to say who, obviously. Not after I called Jan Queen of the Craft along. Honestly, I've had a backlash after that. Snowflake Edgeable is this one that you've got just here. You've also going to receive in there as well the Merry Christmas stamps and dies. And these are awesome. Great that you're able to build and curate your own sentiment there. This one here is your enchanted Christmas tree. Just beautiful. It's got so much, it's almost got movement in it, that one is what it feels like. It really is wonderful. You will then get your Christmas tree frame, which is glorious. Then you've also got your Christmas tree Edgeable, which is that one there. And that's one you've just seen Jan use. I love that the outside die is disconnected there. Then we also have the Christmas tree foliage, which is this one here. And finally, you will get the beautiful baubles in there as well. $124.99 or $162.95 is your price. Didn't show the ink pads, the most important bit. Here we are, yeah, limited edition ink pads. And the thing is, these collections come and go, don't they, every year? But we do the ink pads, and then if people get them, they have them because they last for years. So
I do. I've still got my original set of all the ink pads.
Yeah, even if you're not going for the collection, it's definitely worth getting. If you love our ink pads, get the 3 ink pads. They're available on a deal for you. You can check them out over on the website at the moment with a 15% saving. The lavender ice, which I just love, that sort of cool lavender colour. I think it's really beautiful. You've also got in here the polar blue, which is that one. And you will get the frosted sea glass in there too, which is absolutely glorious as well. So a great saving, £53, $69. Massive thank you to Jan. It's a pleasure as always. When are you back with us here?
Would you believe it's August next time I'm back?
Whoa!
It's the 1st of August.
Yeah, but that's not far away, is it?
Monday.
Yeah.
A week on Monday, yes.
A Monday
Yes.
Makers in the middle of the afternoon, a week on Monday, meaning there must be something special happening in the evening. Stay tuned. There will be there's more details to come. I think I'm in that day as well. I am indeed. I'll be here. Sara will be here too. It'll be something very special. Remember what's happening tomorrow. We've got a launch for you during Colour Me Happy tomorrow, which will be brilliant. Not often we can say that. 11 a.m. here in the UK, 6 a.m. on the East Coast. Lily's here with me all day as well. Then we've got a Kinetic Projects Masterclass, 2 p.m. here in the UK, 9 a.m. East Coast, which will be glorious. And then finally, Second Chance Sunday coming up in this slot tomorrow night. Don't forget about my bundle Bonanza, running over on the website until midnight tomorrow. Demo of the day is number 2, Jan. Number two, your craft along.
Number 2 is the craft along, isn't it?
It was the craft along.
Fantastic. There we go, the little basket there.
Excellent.
Okey-doke.
Massive thanks to you, Jan. We'll see you on the first. Big thanks to the team backstage, the team in the gallery. I'll see you back here for another full day tomorrow. Bye-bye.